One of the areas that Biren Katzman has specialized in for years is handling spine injuries. Spine injuries have a wide range. They range from people who have had really catastrophic injuries where they're paralyzed, they're quadriplegics or paraplegics or hemiplegics. Also, spine injuries often involve back or neck injuries, which are sometimes more subtle, sometimes end up having surgeries which can be simple surgeries like a microdiscectomy where it's a very limited invasion, or many of our clients over the years have had fusion surgeries where they have 1 or 2 or 3 levels of their neck or back fused as a result of damaged disc from the trauma that they've been exposed to. In handling spine injuries, of course it's important to get to the best doctors in the world. Through the years we've developed relationships with doctors who we think are the best in the world, not only at providing treatment to our clients, which is always the most important objective, but also in terms of communicating these injuries and sometimes very complex concepts like a multi-level spine fusion to juries in a way that they understand it. That's really important because if the jury doesn't understand it, they're not going to be able to appreciate the magnitude of the harm and they're not going to award the right amount of damages. In many instances, especially with people with neck and back injuries, they've had some history of having problems in the past. And part of our job is to make the jury understand that these problems in the past are just normal aging and normal life problems and never would have become a surgical problem or a major problem unless there was a trauma involved. The doctors we work with are great at explaining the difference and talking about literature that there's no reason to believe that because somebody has a back injury that they go to a chiropractor once in a while that's ever going to become a surgical problem absent a trauma or some major development. Also, we found that over the years where you have somebody who has a history of prior back or neck problems, the best approach is to bring in lay people. To bring in people who knew this person before and knows them afterwards, who can say before he or she was able to work, they were able to play, they were able to roughhouse, they were able to engage in all kinds of activities, and as soon as this accident happened, everything changed. Then no longer were they able to walk for long distances, no longer were they able to run or to swim or to play. And it's different, of course, from each person is different as to what their lifestyle was. But we found that especially with people where there's an issue of a prior history of a spine injury or spine problem, jurors respond the best. They have the most trust in lay people, not in doctors. And they'll listen to the lay people about and understand what they're talking about, the differences from before and after, and they'll appreciate that difference, the only thing that happened in between was the trauma that's the subject of the lawsuit. And that's how we maximize recoveries for these folks.